Hi, I'm Miriam Calleja. Thank you, Dodo Modern Poets, for asking me to be one of your featured writers this month. I'm going to be reading some published and unpublished work. I hope you enjoy my poetry and do connect if you wish to do so. The first three poems were written during National Poetry Writing Month this year. The first one's called On a Night Picnic. I don't know it yet. Life was split in two, and as the halves separate in slow motion, I won't know either. It looks like the poem fish will escape, and I'll be there trying, not trying. In death. Do you remember when you learn in death to stretch your ears? How they have grown, and your nose. Oh no. Shame you made looks important in another life. In death, life is another life. As I was saying, nowadays, I only catch the beginning of, the middle of, the end of conversations. How I miss complete sentences. It's enough. That I should find it all inside me. It's enough that I should think of him in between sentences. That the thin spaces made with code should suffice for breath, for oxygen, for life. That in the in-betweens there are sighs and songs, and around the corner someone who will steal them. That lights flicker to tell us something. That sadness pools in my eyes and you have to paddle across, taking care not to set things off. It's enough to know that even in the night we lie in our marriage within arm's reach, the lights aren't on and thoughts drip slowly. Even then, it's enough. The next few poems are from my book, Inside. Juliet decides to move or not to move. We paid attention to the fire stirring within us. We could not understand the impulse to go forward. Rest is for the innocent, guided on strings. Straining to be still. We did not know how to unlearn the movement. What is love now? I sit for months with a toe reaching for the door. Everyone's done it before us, thinking it would save them, then realizing it would, but never in the way that they thought. What a cruel discovery that the fear now isn't about leaving. It is about staying. The first part is the easiest. It's the part that everyone does successfully. Well, let's face it, almost everyone, and almost successfully. I'll sip my wine and rub my neck because this is uncomfortable. The staying in this here and now with its silences, its slow, insidious habit forming hard on my knees, realizing the real loveliness of it all. And pronouncing the words that everyone before us has said. Well, let's face it, almost everyone, and almost said. The next few poems are from my book, Stranger Intimacy. Lake Michigan. In the vast stretches of your reach, poetry feels indulgent. I prefer to rock gently to sleep, forget about speaking my truth. You open up to cradle me. I can't see where land begins again, and as you lull me into a false sense of security, I swallow you in gulps. I scream, but it's a gargle. Your elbows are strange, but you lock me in them, and I stay. Moag. Look how it moves, clumsily. How it moves me with its slow reluctance to be in the same space with me. How it never turns its back and never looks directly. How it protects its space, flapping. There is a nervousness beneath its wings like a mumbled song, a hurried prayer escaping. How it flits and furrows, filling a space almost smaller than its entire body. How it prepares to lay an egg furtively, trying to place it where I cannot reach. How it closes the air around itself, zipping the molecules shut. The next few poems are from my first book, Pomegranate Heart. Dysrhythmic Tango. I'd like to retrace the steps of our dysrhythmic tango, the rise and fall of breath, the gazes without words, the nights I lay in bed waiting for your music to gallop around me in dizzying unpracticed steps, the stomping of the feet, the furtive beats went crashing. My eyes were on the dance floor. You couldn't hold my hand. This dance has never ended. Because you kissed me in the dark. Because you kissed me in the dark and with my eyes closed. That kiss did not exist. Because you held my hand in another room. We do not talk about it. It's as though it never happened. Because it happened somewhere else. And that was not a metaphor. You smell like a memory of the sea. You smell like a memory of the sea. And I remember which day you swept me off my feet, but gently, a toe still drawing lines in the sand. My last two poems are from the publication Luftmeer, which is a collaboration with two artists that I met last summer. The Mountain of Muses. Let your large head blow a dandelion of thoughts, an unspectacular climb, half promise, half prayer. Get to that vantage point, a different perspective, but you don't need to be there to go there. Now, the climb is always available, even if no one decides to go. Walking lost, you create a space where you feel new. My very last poem for today. For 9 weeks, I've waited. For the foxes you once mentioned, I want to say promised. Cute, wild, furtive, indifferent. Rolled up in a food bowl, I get up at all hours, at every bird noise, fingering these imperfect apples that grow here like weeds. Curly, capital letters as juicy as they are ugly. I see the table where you sat telling me about the family of foxes, about how you spotted them at the train station, and they, with a nod, spotted you too. It's hardly wild for you to spot foxes. Back home, they are everywhere you look, like the wild apples here. Thank you very much for listening.